All right, there we go. Welcome to Avengers Endgame here on Screen Fiend. We have a plot leak. There have been thousands of plot leaks about Avengers Endgame. But of course, there's always some disgruntled employees who were very unhappy with how things may have ended. And now we have a plot leak of serious proportions. A lot of people get shrunk in this movie. The entire Avengers get shrunk beyond comparison. Now, when Avengers Endgame opens up, it opens up to Tony Stark drifting in space with Nebula. Floating in space, running out of oxygen, about to die. Out of resources, out of luck. The ship shuts down. Power's off. And it is drifting in space. But everyone think Pepper Pot comes to save him, right? That is wrong. Well, I don't know why people would think Pepper Potts would be the one to come to save Tony Starks. But she is not the one to come save Tony. Who ship is Tony on? What is the name of the ship Tony is on? That he's floating in space on. Let's see if you guys in the live chat are awake. He's on the Benatar. The Benatar is the Guardian of the Galaxy ship, right? So if he's on the Guardians of the Galaxy ship, there's only one Guardian of the Galaxy that is still living, that didn't vanish. Nebula doesn't count. Who's a pilot of that ship? Name Rocket, the raccoon. Why is no one thinking Rocket is coming to get his own damn ship? That Rocket don't know how to find his own damn ship. People believe that Pepper Potts, who's never been in space, is just going to put on an Iron Man suit, jump out in space, and go get Tony Stark. If that happened, I would have been so damn pissed at Avengers, I would have walked out the damn movie. If they had Pepper Potts go out in space and go get Tony Stark, I would have found the Russo brothers and I would have had them down there and be like, who told you to put this in here? Who made this decision? That's who neck I'm going to break. Because that makes zero sense. So anyway, everybody is mourning when they cut back, they show the scenes, everybody's at the Avengers Tower, everybody's mourning. They were showing some pictures of just the deserted towns, everything, and they showing people quiet, and everybody's just shocked at Avengers Tower as they're going through photos of who's alive, who may be gone, that are allies, and people who are enemies. No. Rocket is headed to get the Benatar because he does not know Peter Quill, because the rest of them don't know the Guardians of the Galaxy. The only people that know them or Rocket is Thor. So he's going to tell Thor, we need to go back to the planet that they were on, Nebuchadnezzar, where they made the weapon for Thor. Because that's where his pod is. And his pod is connected to the Benatar. The Benatar is driven towards that planet. Tony is not drifting in space. He thinks he's drifting. The ship is on a course to take it to where the pod is. When it's not being piloted, to keep it away from people that would steal the ship, it has a fail-safe system that returns the ship to the pod. So Tony is taken to Nebuchadnezzar, the place where they forge weapons. Once Tony is there, the dwarf who runs everything opens, they step out, they come there, and they ask him. He says, did he do it? And Tony was like, yeah. Then he says, it's time we go to work. And he has the mold for the Infinity Gauntlet. So Tony and Nebula is on that planet with the guy who made the Infinity Gauntlet in the first place for Thanos. And they're there where the pod is. Now, before everybody leaves, they have a situation. Here comes Scott Lang, Iron Ant-Man, going, bup, bup. Hey, guys. He opens the door of hope for everybody in the Avengers. He comes in and says, whoa, a talking raccoon. I've seen it all. I talk to ants, so I'm not really blown away by a talking raccoon. So, right. So they had a little banter between him and Ant-Man. And Rocket thinks that he's crazy because he's talking to ants. Very funny banter between the two. Right? Now, he tells them that Doctor Strange, while he was trapped inside of the quantum realm. Doctor Strange talked to him in the quantum realm. Because he was drifting, he was lost in the quantum realm, and he found a building. He went in there and he saw Doctor Strange. He was hallucinating. He didn't know what was happening. He didn't know if it was real or a hallucination. Doctor Strange told him what needed to be done. Doctor Strange told him he had to come out and get the rest of them and bring Thor. It was very important that he brought Thor back to him so he can explain what needed to be done to Thor and all the rest of them. So they had to get on special equipment and special suits to come and meet Doctor Strange. So Strange informs them that they must go back in order to stop what's happening. They have to go back into intricate plots or intricate times. It is very complicated to explain this, but they have to go back in alternate universes and get at alternate times to get an Infinity Stones. So it does not alter and mess with the time continuance. It's very weird to follow, but they must go and do this. But there's only one stone. There's only one stone that you cannot go back and get, and that is the time stone. That is the only stone you cannot go back, because time is a construct and blah, 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 blah. So they go back and they get the plan. Right? They go to Never to Lever, whatever. And they pick up Tony Stark's. Thor goes and picks up Captain America. Tony, him and Rocket. They went and got the ship. And when they went and got Tony and Nebula, they gave the rundown of the plan. And they told Tony, and Tony says, "That's great, because I think we're going to need this." Boom! Breaks out the Infinity Gauntlet on his hand. Iron Man has an Infinity Gauntlet on his hand that is made for him on Never to Lever. Tony has a gauntlet. No, Tony didn't make it. The troll guy did. He made it. So Tony has the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, Doctor Strange had special instructions. He said, all of these, you guys must go and get all of the Infinity Gauntlet pieces at the same time. Because if you guys go all together to get them, one by one, you will alert Thanos. He will figure out what you're doing and come and stop the whole thing. So you must go and achieve them all at the same time. So this is going to be another Avengers movie where all of them will be broken up in pieces and groups, all going to get different Avengers stones. Yep, it's going to be simultaneously. They're going to get the Infinity Gauntlet. So all of them together, and they're going over the plans on what they're going to do. And while they're there and they're doing the rundown, Tony says, okay, well, we got this one, we got that one. That's only 5 stones. What about the 6th stone? And that's when Ant-Man says, oh yeah, I forgot. Goes in his pocket and pulls out the time stone. Boom! I forgot. Doctor Strange said, get this to you. Boom! Ant-Man has the time stone in his pocket. Doctor Strange sent him back with the time stone. So that's the first one they have already, is the time stone. So now they're going to be able to shift and go into the quantum realm all at different points. And using the time stone, they all have synchronized wristbands to bring them back. And that is as far as we got from the Avengers Endgame movie. How real is this script? I would say this script is about 87 to 90% true. Out of any script you've ever heard, this is the one that's most accurate to the movie. Well, you can't believe all the scripts. Sometimes, like, we had the Pepper Potts one. It's a whole lot of them. It's the one where Rocket goes out in space and fights Thanos guys because they're coming to kill Tony Stark. It's totally nuts. Captain America sacrifices himself to get the Soul Stone. That is another story that's out there in the plots. That they come to a situation where to acquire the Soul Stone, a soul must stay behind. And if Tony volunteers to sacrifice his soul, Captain America sacrifices himself so that they can finish the mission. Which has been the theme of Captain America from his entire time. He got to become Captain America because he made the sacrifice when he jumped on the grenade. From the very first Captain America movie. He was the only one that jumped on the grenade while everybody else ran from it. He made the sacrifice play when he got stuck in ice. Captain America has always made the sacrifice. And he told Tony, if it comes down to it, I don't think you're not the type of guy to make the sacrifice play. Yep. Oh, Tony Stark, to answer your question, he's in the quantum realm. There's a whole nother realm, so wherever he is, There are infinity gauntlets in different time. There's different quantums, like different realities. So they're there collecting and gonna make and forge their own infinity gauntlet from another realm. So he got the time stone from another realm inside of the quantum realm. And that's how he sent, I guess he foreseen all this, that what's his name was going to be stuck inside there. He reached him, gave him the time stone, sent him out, and sent them back in. And remember, so far they have not even mentioned Captain Marvel and where she comes in at. Because there's a lot of surprises in the script that they have special codes for that says the special one comes in, which I believe is Captain Marvel. The special one fights the entity. Whoever the entity is, Thanos' name is not even on the script. Well, when they go into the quantum realm, they meet the special one. So the special one could be Galactus. Well, the name of this movie was supposed to be Avengers Gauntlet. Gauntlet was the name of the movie for Avengers. Endgame is what it was changed into once the name got leaked. But now when you hear the plot, you understand why this was called Avengers Gauntlet. Because they're going on a gauntlet quest to find the Infinity Stones to make a gauntlet. They're going to make their own gauntlet to fight another gauntlet. So this was called Avengers Gauntlet, and it made more sense than Endgame. No, Red Skull has been freed. The Soul Stone is gone. So once the Soul Stone was gone, the time, whatever, he was freed. It sent him back to Earth, back where he was before. So Red Skull is back on Earth. Or in another realm, wherever the Space Stone sent him. Once Thanos received the stone, he was freed from the curse of the Soul Stone. his job was complete. Now, a nihilist could be in this movie, and he could be the special one too. We don't know. He might be the special one. We don't know. But there are other villains in the movie. Remember, we never saw all of the children of Thanos. We might get to see his other children. I just think that's weak if they let Captain America kill himself, sacrifice himself without fighting. I just don't see that happening. Because in the script I seen, Thanos kills Captain America. Captain America says, I can do this all night long. And he fights, and he gets up. After Thanos hits him with his most powerful shot, Captain America gets up. Everybody else was knocked out. Cap is the only one that got up. And he's fighting with Thanos. And he bobs his head and said, I can do this all night long. And Thanos, grants him as a warrior and everything else. And then just crushes him. And he drops him. And he's laying on the floor. His shield is cracked. And Tony looks. And it's almost just like the vision he had when they were laid out on the rock. Cap is gone. Now, I don't know if this is going to be that dramatic. They say Cap is going to really hurt Thanos. Before he goes, he's going to have a really big stanza before he goes out. But I don't know. Then this new script says he sacrifices himself to get the Soul Stone. I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. Oh, yeah. And coming from Wakanda, with Shuri, who isn't dead and didn't vanish, Shuri is still alive. And she's got David Banner with her. And now he's Professor Hulk. Shuri supposedly has done something with Banner, who stayed in Wakanda, and she helped him control the Hulk. The process that they were using to try to help Vision is what they're going to use to actually use that laser and everything else to balance and help the Hulk and help. Yep, she's going to help him become Professor Hulk, which means he's going to be like Hulk. He's going to talk with Banner's voice. And no longer does he walk like a Neanderthal. He walks like a regular human and speaks like with Banner's voice. They learned how to coexist. And he wears clothes. Now, it is said this film is more for the comic book lover. If you love the comics, this one is more up your alley. If you didn't watch the comics, this one will be a little bit more confusing. You're not going to understand what they're doing. You're just going to know they're on a mission to get the other Infinity Gauntlets. So that's why Romanoff went to go get Clint, who lost his whole family when they vanished, and he became Ronin. Now, they said no Adam Warlock was supposed to be in the story. But we might get an Adam Warlock or someone inside of the Soul Stone that's going to be working with the others. I don't know if it's Doctor Strange or what's going to happen. He might be inside of the Soul Stone. But we're going to see what's going to happen. It's your boy Carcino. I'm out. Thank you guys for watching Screen Fiend as we have the first half of the movie. The first act of Avengers Endgame. Spider-Man is barely in this film, from what I've been told. Spider-Man has about 10 minutes of screen time. Not a lot of minutes for Spider-Man in this film. They say he has less time. You see him in this one less than you did in the first one. But that's it. I'm going to go. I don't want to get nothing.